Good day, my ranked demons. I'm Slayer Key, a top 600 Immortal and coach for 500 students. I have a lot of students asking me right now, what the heck do I do on Bind? I also know a lot of players are either dreading this map coming back or excited to what new changes are coming out. So I'm going to go over angles, common spots, and all the changes. Basically an overall angle guide for Bind, so you're prepared when it drops at the start of the new act. First, you have short. Not a lot of changes here when you're attacking. This is basically how you want to approach this site. You consider the two initial angles from this side. So it's here and here. Remember that there's two different headshot angles you can play on. There's really no danger in peeking from this one. It allows you to get an extra little elevation. If you're coming from this side, it's here, here, and then also here. There is a timing if you take too long to peek this where people can get in this corner without them seeing. So let's say you get delayed by some sort of utility, and now people can be in that corner. So what we're going to do is hold this and then peek like this. Now this left side's clear. Remember that a lot of what we do is clearing things bit by bit. Now we have a heaven peek. You see how I'm pre-aiming to the wall. So we can check this, see if someone's there. You're good to check into heaven. This is your next spot. So remember when you take stuff, to slice the pie a little so you don't overexpose. There's our first change. You can get on top of this barrel now. We'll cover this when we go to defense. So you want to be aiming right here. You can also kind of base it off this line, this corner line of the box. You just want to aim in this general direction. So when you peek here, remember that this angle exists, just like this. And here, this is how you take this site, and you're hugging the back wall and you clear this close right. Okay, now you're basically out on A site. So let's keep moving forward. The next spot you would really want to check is U-haul. So you go from clearing right to clearing this, and you can clear like this. You notice how we can clear most of U-haul? We can even go right here and still be mostly safe from these angles we cleared. Right there. Let's just assume we have smokes down so we can get rid of some of these risks. And now we can clear U-haul, or what you can do, let's keep assuming we have smokes down, is after you clear close right, you just send it into here. You usually clear this 3 times. The second time is usually an off angle because people like to play off angles a lot. And it's the same thing when you take U-haul or lamps here too. Literally bit by bit, because people love to play off angles in here. Bit by bit every single time. Okay, now you basically cleared it. You can worry about heaven here, worry about this close, but you basically cleared all the site. U-haul controls a really important space to play on A site. This is because whoever has control of lamps has the option to flank. So the attackers have control of lamps. They have the option to flank the people defusing the spike. Like that. But if the defenders have it, they can push through U-haul and flank the people on site. Here's a nifty off angle. Once you take site, you can get on top of this box here and aim into heaven. Oh, now let's go over attacking showers. As you can see, the teleport has been moved from here to here. I wanted to just show the teleport real quick, just so everyone knew what it was like. So you go through here. This is really strange for your brain. And this corner right here has been rounded out. This just makes it a lot easier to take this corner. Okay, the second thing you'll notice, this one's a little difficult, but the gateway is actually wider here. When you take this angle, you actually have more of an advantage as an attacker now. You mainly have to focus this angle, but remember if you peek this at the start of the round, it's impossible for people to be past here unless they use some sort of utility. Bind's a really important map for this. So common angle, off angle, and then like common off angle. Okay, now that we're approaching the site, again, slicing the pie is important. You can check this spot if you think someone's holding you. Usually someone's here, a jump spotting over this box. Next up is here. See how it's really easy to overexpose yourself to other angles? There's 2 spots in heaven you want to check, and there's this spot, and there's like on top of bench. You won't really expect people here, but there's a new change. This is because this gateway is now way wider than it used to be. This also makes it really difficult to tuck in this corner here. So when you want to come out of sight and you want to keep your back against the walls and check this corner, sometimes people like the blast pack, whatever, get their boost up there. And if you have players pushing out sight, you don't have to clear left, but say we're not, we're going to check this angle and this angle. It's really important to get these angles right. It's also really easy to slip up on. So this is a really common angle. This is like the off angle. Okay, and you can continue to clear, scale, just checking things. And I'm being really careful with this corner because I know it hasn't been cleared. And then we can check this corner, and then we can do the same U-haul clear as before. I know a lot of people are thinking that they want to push back sight. It's completely okay. Remember the barrel angle, remember this. I would suggest using some utility for this and also being careful of the smokes that are thrown down. It's really easy for the defenders to prepare for this because both smokes basically just create a solid line for this player and this player. It's a really nice crossfire. It's really easy for them to hold the space as defenders. Okay, now we're gonna go over defending A. So defending A, I know everyone wants to see this barrel, so let's just show it. You hop on top of here and you can see over to short. It's a really nice off angle. It'll probably become pretty predictable, but when this map first comes out, I would just suggest playing here as much as possible. You can also use it for a little bit of cover if you want to hold showers like this, something interesting. I do want to cover more off angles because they're really strong on this. So one is heaven. If you go right here and aim like here, you're protected from showers and you can hold short. You can also do the same here. It's a little more risky, but we can assume that like showers is covered by a teammate or something. You can hold here. Both of these spots would be really good with an up. Okay. Here's the other good off angle is you actually wait till right here instead of being in this corner. where you hold here, you just hold a little bit off to the side. This is because most people clear this corner and then they clear this corner. So if you're in between the two, they usually don't expect you here, and their crosshair is placed here when you're here. And if they mess it up, you're in between both these common angles that people usually check. You can actually make it from here to here. This is a pretty difficult jump, but this allows you to get up here a lot easier, and you can also save on an updraft. You can also do the same thing from these boxes over here, and this one's a bit more easy. A really good spot to play is surprisingly here. Let's say you know there's showers or someone's holding showers. You can play this spot and peek over sage walls. And you can also hold showers from an unexpected angle if you have someone watching short here. This would be something I would suggest holding like here. This might be a really nice spot because you want to avoid playing spots like this corner, where if someone peeks you here, right, what is our choice to fall back? We're here, we're playing right next to this corner. So once I take a shot, I can just duck behind this cover. You see the difference here? A really good spot to jump spot is you can actually just do a silent jump here. We do this. This is done by crouching, jumping, and then when you reach the peak of your jump, you let go of crouch. So crouch, jump, uncrouch, crouch, jump, uncrouch. Just like that. We just keep doing this. Also, when you do silent peek, you can do like a sort of jump peek like this. It's a little more difficult, but for those who are really trying to maximize the risk versus reward, this is what you can do. You can technically do the same thing here. You just have to make sure someone is showers. Remember that I'm buying, there's two different headshot angles here now. There's this one and then this one up here. So you want to make sure. Another good spot, if we just grab the op, is getting on top of here and playing this op angle. This is really nice. You have to deal with the same 50-50, but it's really good. And if you hide in this corner, it's really hard for enemies to spot you. Make sure you get tucked up here. If you have trouble, try knifing at the gun. You see how I can't hit anything on the ground? No matter what, this means I'm on the very edge. Let's keep knifing. Okay, nothing here. Now I'm on the corner. Another nice thing you can do on attack is, let's say you have a teammate holding this side. You can scale up this right side and hold the left and try to get into an off angle here, let's say this cubby. Or if you want to take the initial angle and take that risk of maybe someone seeing you, you can try to get in this cubby. This angle I wouldn't really recommend holding. I've always had difficulty with this because there's two different spots they can get on, right? They can come up these stairs, or players can just jump up here. That's a little difficult also because this is a ramp, their head goes up and down. So I would recommend, if you hold this, really get this headshot angle down right, or just hide in the cubby like this. And what you can also do is use this same teammate we talked about before. Have them keep holding white, right? If they don't see anything, they can bait for you here when people are coming up. These players are going to turn their heads to this guy, and you're going to be right here. You guys see how that works? One very last thing before we move on to B. This has been smoothed out, so you can't really play this angle with a lot of benefit because this entire time your side is going to be sticking out. So the best thing you can really do is play like here, but then you have no cover to fall back from. So it's actually a really bad spot now. When attacking B, what is this place being called? When attacking B from whatever this place is called, you want to make sure you check this common angle. You're going to have the jump on this. Attackers always have to jump on this angle. So all you have to do is peek this and see if they peek at the start. If you want to hold a bit of an off angle, you can go here. Also, what some players do is they run out here from the start and hold this angle. This is because when these players peek out, right, they're usually peeking here. So if you're off to the side a little, you can have an advantage. You can just continue to scale up, and then you're going to take this first initial angle. You can't take it from here, so you have to go a little bit forward and take it from here. This is something really good to do a dead zone on, or like a little shot and duck behind cover. This is because it's such a common angle and people love to hold it, and there's very little risk involved in you doing this. You save a lot of danger here. You also have another option, which is to scale up left. This is something that like people with judges do, or someone with drone does, so they can scale up. It also lets you peek around this corner with their teammates. You guys can have like a double swing. There's also something new when you take Huku. This corner has been rounded out. This makes it easier for the attackers to have more angles to play around instead of always being stuck with utility here. Now, hookah is a very, very dangerous spot. I would heavily suggest you have some sort of utility used here. I'm on Jet. Most people would think Jet wouldn't be able to clear this, but I want to throw something at you to make this a lot easier. Just slice this place in half. There's only really two spots you have to worry about, and that's the left side and that's the right side, and then the top of this box and the top of this box, okay? Really use these back walls here to your advantage. You can clear a lot here without being exposed to the other spot. What you'll also see players do is have one teammate like this, the other one like this, and then they swing into these spots together. And this can be something really good to negate a lot of the risk that comes with it. Or just use util. Use util like a raise nade here or here to clear these spots so you can safely take it. And I would heavily suggest you avoid this spot on eco rounds. I would stick to B long, I would stick to short. The last thing I suggest you do is just spam this box here. Anyone hiding in this corner will get their booty lit up. Okay, now that we're taking sight, you usually want to check here or on top of tube Top of 2 is a really good spot. We'll talk about that when we go over defending. We'll go over here, this right side of the tube, then CT. And as you can see, CT's been widened quite a bit, so we're actually going to do this with 2 different peaks. Even 3 would be a good idea, because you really just want to be prepared for any angle you see. And you scale up here and try to clear this. Okay, we see into cubby. Be careful of this corner though. So we check this cubby. You can also just jump spot here and clear under hookah. Now that we're scaling upside, inside tube angle, this angle, if you get here, you can see more into here, or you can just spam it from here. Some of the spots here are just good to spam, just because you think players might be there, and why not? Make sure you're only doing a little bit of burst and not like your entire mag. The more you spray, the more you should pray that someone doesn't peek you. Okay, next spot is elbow. Again, another good spot to double clear. Okay, now that this is clear, B is actually really hard to take, but we've done a pretty good job of clearing so far. Whenever you take a space, you want to make sure you know what hasn't been cleared. So in my head right now, I'm just thinking like, okay, inside tube, back sight, this cubby, the entirety of lawn, this, and also I'd be careful of elbow. The elbow peak, maybe people coming out CT, depends on our smoke situation. So with those spots in mind, what you can do is throw a smoke here, jump out, start to clear these close angles, run into cubby here, see if someone's here, and then start to clear backside. This will allow you to take rid of that space, and now all you have to worry about is a lawn. So if you want to clear a lawn, again, just make sure you're putting your butt against the wall as much as possible for the angle advantage, and now you successfully cleared B. Lawn is a whole different story. You basically just run up here. I would suggest you jump peek this because it's so common to op here. If you guys want to jump peek tutorial, let me know. And then you're kind of jiggling. This is another thing where they can't be left side if you peek it fast enough. But if you wait too long to peek it, be careful of this side. If you get stalled out by anything, just assume there could be someone there. Okay, when you scale up, it's good to scale up here. This is because the lawn player usually peeks like this. So being on this side can be a bit of an off angle. And you don't want everyone to be on this same line, right? Imagine how easy that would be to spray down. So it's good to go here and hold this angle. Just be careful when you get to here, because look at all these angles. This is another really good top tube spot we'll talk about. And then you're clearing it like this. So a lot of people like to peek from inside tube, peek from in here. And then you actually want to clear this one a lot shorter. There's an off angle here you want to be aware of. There's a little elevation, so raise your crosshair here, and then you make sure you full clear this corner. A lot of people forget to do this, and then there's just a guy who's hiding here the entire time, and he mows down your whole team. I'm sure people have experienced this. And now that we cleared that, we're kind of re-clearing the same things, because we don't full clear stuff when we do this. We kind of just half clear. People can still be peeking. You can see pretty deep into this cubby. I would still assume it's not cleared. And then smokes are down. You're kind of doing the same thing we did before. Let's throw some sort of utility. This smoke could be replaced with a flash. It could be replaced with a dart. So when I use my smokes, try to think through your agent and what you could be using that would kind of accomplish the same thing. Because remember, all we're trying to do is block people off, stop people from peeking, or just give ourselves more comfort pushing into the site. So when you come up here, you don't have to worry about in tube. You probably take it more like this, and then you peek from in here. Okay, clear this, careful cubby. And then a really good spot too is just to jump on top of here and see what you can clear. Be careful, because there's a lot of angles you would expose yourselves to, but it's also a really nice way to quickly clear sight and then get a jump on that guy under tube. When you're defending B, there's a lot of really good spots. The first one I want to cover is this hookah one. You can play on top of here or on top of here. If you're playing in here with someone, it's also really just good to tuck in this corner. If you want to try to just get one and then smoke or dash out or flash and get out, the next really good spot is actually this right here. This is a pretty good off angle. You can tuck here. So this angle right here is really good. I would suggest crouching, where we talked about how common this angle is in a lot of games. So you want to hold it like here. Next good spot is on top of this box here. Just hold this. This is really good of a judge. Next good spot is actually right here. So playing spots you can easily drop down from is a really nice benefit of bind that I'm noticing a lot of. Being able to pop a quick shot and just fall back behind cover is a really good option. We can assume the same thing with this play too. Pop a few shots, fall back, you're behind cover again. We can say the same thing for here too. Pop, fall down. So these are basically all the major spots. We can do the same exact thing, since I love talking about tube. This is a nasty off angle. Of course, make someone watch your lawn. Nasty off angle, people won't expect. Pop some shots, you can go for some spams behind this wall. And it's really good. It does a lot of damage. You can play it from here. See how exposed to lawn you are here? Still a half decent spot. Still another spot we can go back here. Top shots easily drop down from. But you can also do the same thing for lawn as well. So this would be more like we put these angles closer together and we hold like here. These are some angles I would recommend you ADS with, because it's nice to have that closer vision. And when you ADS here, you're mostly going for taps, especially this lawn angle. It'd be really nice to just get a clean tap. Okay. Another decent spot you can play is actually here, but this is something you need to make sure teammates are going to break stuff for you. Remember how when we cleared lawn, I didn't even mention it because this is such an uncommon spot, but I feel like it's really good. Same with this spot here. Both of these you can kind of get away with. You just have to be really smart with how you hold the angles. For example, if I hold this, I'd probably hold it from back here for the same reason. Use pop shots, fall back behind cover. You guys starting to get the premise of this? Same thing for this one, right? All we're trying to do, get ourselves an edge. We can use the same knife trick, by the way. If you go any further, you're just going to fall off. So look down, knife the edge. Okay, this spot's good. Now we can pop shots and fall back a lot easier. Okay, another really nice off angle is actually this one right here. You can hold lawn from here, and people usually don't expect this one, and you have the same cover aspect. This corner is really, really good in lawn. This is a spot that's really good to have a teammate here. I'm going to pretend I'm this teammate. You're going to peek lawn like this, make a lot of noise, and then you're going to make a lot of noise you're running back too. Jump around like this, and then you're just going to sneak back like this, and then play out this guy's contact. So this guy's going to be waiting here, and this is when you peek. You help him out. Okay. You can do the same exact thing with this spot here. I would say most suggest this one. I like this one the most because people tend to get lazy when they clear this spot. Here's another spot that's really good to have teammates bait you off of, or you can play an off angle like here. These off angles aren't bad, just remember that this is pretty big angle advantage. Another half decent spot is right here on site. This is something I would really suggest you have a backup plan for. If you do get stuck here, watch my movement here. This is what we're going to do. So I'm going to pretend there's someone holding me here and here. This is what you do. And you really want to get deep in tube. I instinctively crouch because I'm assuming this player is going to start spamming me as soon as I do it, so I'm trying to throw off my head height. Back here is a really good spot to jump spot for defenders. Just keep jump spotting here, jump spotting here. Just constant up to the intel. You can't see lawn though, so I'd be careful. You can jump spot here, but it's a little bit risky. There's something like maybe you have a teammate here, and you're just being a little jump goblin backside. There's actually one thing they added to the site that makes retakes a lot easier. And if you come over here, you're going to be able to see it. There's a little utility window here now. This wasn't here before. For example, a gecko flush. Another example is you could throw a molly here. So when you come out CT here, you can isolate this spot while this molly clears all of this side. Alrighty everyone, that's going to do it for this angle guide. Hope you found some enjoyment and information out of this. Hope you enjoyed the new bind. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, all that jazz. And if you're interested in coaching, check out our Discord server. Bye-bye.